Hey fight fans, this is Richard Schaefer and you're watching Sporting Icons.
All right everyone, just doing my usual morning hike with the mutt. So I've got a question for the British Boxing Board of Control, and I've tried every other means that I possibly can, and the British Boxing Board of Control, they don't like it when I make videos. And I know this for a fact because somebody quite high up on the board told me about 2 weeks ago that Robert Smith has a bit of an issue with me. Oh dear, what can you do? Now, Robert, I don't want to be your enemy, and I don't want you to be my enemy, all right? But I think a lot of people have issues with the board because you guys are just not very transparent. You're really not. And if you've got a gripe with me, listen, there's plenty of people in boxing who have my number, contact them. Contact Phil Jeffries if you like, he'll give you my number. You can give me a call and we'll squash whatever it is that your problem is and what my problem is. I've got plenty of questions, and of course we'll do it off camera, we'll do it privately as well if you want. Now, my question anyway is, what is the criteria for a prospect to get an opponent agreed? A prospect for me is someone from pro debut up to about, what, 10, 15 fights? Would that be fair? Obviously, certain criteria would be dependent on their amateur background and all that kind of stuff. Now, I ask this question because time and time again, I'm finding that quite a few fighters that I know personally are really struggling to find opponents and getting them agreed by the board. Now, there is recent cases. For example, one of them that I know has had to put through so many opponents, all of them credible, by the way, some of them coming off wins and all that kind of stuff. Not one of them is coming off a knockout loss, okay? But yeah, all the opponents get rejected, and he ends up getting forced to have a rematch with somebody that he didn't want to have to rematch, okay? But he doesn't have a choice because he's got to fight. And when I look around other shows and other prospects, some of which have extensive amateur careers, even Olympians in some part, where they're fighting absolute cab drivers, nowhere near as good as the opponents that were sent through. But yet these guys keep getting rejected while others getting accepted for absolute bin men. I mean, some of these opponents, honestly, I could take my shirt off, put boxing gloves on, get in the ring and beat them myself. But yet the board are accepting those. But yet, some of the fighters that I know, and again, some of them have been robbed quite blindly. And I've been at the shows, I've recorded some of the fights, and absolutely robbed. Come, let's go back this way. Come here. Come on, you. Sorry, 1 second. Hey, come on. Good boy. So, it's like, are people getting rejected for opponents and things like that? I mean, is there something going on just because I know certain fighters? Listen, I don't want to be paranoid, okay? I'm not naturally a paranoid person, but my imagination does get pretty overactive. And if I start to think that because Robert Smith has a bit of a personal gripe with me, that what, are people under instructions to rob fighters? I'm not accusing, I'm asking. Are fighters finding it difficult to get opponents because Robert Smith has a personal issue with me? Let's hope not, eh? Let's hope not, because if I do get paranoid, I swear to God, I will start making videos every single day going in on the British Boxing Board of Control. So many things, so many subjects, so many things that goes on in boxing that I just let slide. I do. But I'm gonna start making videos on them because I understand when it comes to opponent selection that the board, of course, they're gonna be quite nervous about certain fighters who get brutally knocked out, hurt, put in comas, worst case fatalities and all that kind of thing. So of course they have to be very cautious, but it seems that that's only with a select few who have to have rematches with fighters that they shouldn't have to rematch with, or tough fights, fighters with only one fight on their record, because journeymen, which is what prospects should be fighting, are getting rejected. And even though some of the fighters that were put through are, to be honest, you can't even call them journeymen. I said some of them are coming off wins. Some of them have pretty good records, like 8 wins and 4 defeats and things like that. But yet they're being rejected. But yet I'm seeing Olympians and boxers with extensive amateur background fighting absolute bin men. So how are they getting agreed, but yet these ones are not? So that's my question to the board. What's the criteria? Because when these opponents are getting rejected, There's no explanation. It's just a no. There's no explanation for it. So of course that's going to lead people like me and other uploaders and people within boxing and whatever else to come up with their own conspiracy theories. It is. Anyway, I hope that I don't need to be paranoid, Robert. As I said, give me a call. Give me a call. Because I think, to be honest with you, I would prefer to make nice videos about the board, like I did a couple of weeks ago with the medical response after one of the shows that I was in Sunderland, where Ewan McKenzie knocked out George Rose and the medical response was there, seconds. Absolutely fantastic. So I'd rather make those kind of videos. I don't want to be making videos because you guys don't respond and because you guys seemingly don't give a fuck about anything else. But anyway, the person who said to me that you have a bit of an issue with me, Robert Smith, listen, he was saying that you're actually a really good guy and I've got it wrong about you, and many other people have got it wrong about you. But listen, Robert, I don't make up stories, okay? I don't make up stories. If I say something in a video, it's because either A, I've read about it, or B, someone's told me about it, okay? I don't make stuff up. I really don't. But anyway, Robert, British Box Board of Control, please answer this question. What is the criteria for a prospect to get an opponent agreed? Because it seems that the criteria depends on who's actually putting on the show, doesn't it? As to how much money maybe you're getting. I don't know. We can go down that route if you want. Anyway, you'll drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.